and, closing the loop with evaluating the risks and taking the right action. And that was really nice. That was,
Thank you.
The Arjuna's dilemma, I think you articulated it so well in the modern context, right? In terms of our daily life. That was really, I really liked it quite a bit.
Thank you.
And the other thing is, your way of expressing the self-identity as it moved for you, that was very powerful. I'll tell you an interesting story, right? My wife's name is actually her quote unquote, her official name is Rajshri. And in her in all the family, she's known as Preeti. And nobody knows her as Rajshri per se. And on the work side, nobody knows her as Preeti. And it all compounds a little bit more. Once she moved here to the US, she shortened her name because people here can't. It's find it difficult to pronounce it. So she's Raj, and I'm also known sometimes by Raj. So when we go to some meetings, I'm Raj. It's the same thing, But the point is, and people do ask me, did you get your wife change her name? I said, no, I did not. Her name was Rajshri. That's how it is.
Right.
And I think the sense of identity changes as we understand the larger perspective, and it suddenly drops. Right. So that's a very, very powerful thing. Very nicely done. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Questions for Manu?
I think everybody is super clear.
Yeah, Manu, I'll second that. When you mentioned identity, it is not. It's less of changing something. Especially after your marriage, as you said, it is going into something larger. And now, when you look at the self-identity, which is even larger, right? So that's a really nice way of putting it. Thanks for bringing that perspective. So very nice. Thank you.
So Manu, a year ago, I would have asked you, where is that dosa place? But now I know better, so I won't go there. My question is, as you think about moving away and trying to think of yourself as a third person, how difficult or easy is it to get into that situation? Because I've tried that in the past, and for almost a few weeks I was enjoying to be like that, but then it becomes difficult because people will point out you're doing this wrong or that wrong, and why are you thinking like this? So I'm just curious how you have dealt with that in terms of becoming that third person away from your own self.
Yeah, so I don't think I have been able to do that for any kind of sustained period of time, but I do see that and even prior to reading the Gita and being on this journey, I feel like I have used that as almost like a defense mechanism, if you will, right? So if there were, say at work, some meeting or something where, things are getting too heated up, or, people are getting, a little too excited about what's being talked about, I often sort of used this as, trying to get myself out of that, that craziness. And it would almost, I could feel that, okay, I'm, separate from this person who's sitting here and in the middle of this craziness. And I've used this as a tool before to help calm myself down. And I find, that I feel like I can use this same tool to sort of understand this larger concept of who am I as well. So like I said, I haven't really practiced this in a sustained way, but whenever something bothers me enough, I am able to try to separate myself from that by using, by thinking of it this way, that, maybe it's not so critical or crazy, or, not something to get all bent out of shape about.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, Manu, if you permit me, I just want to add something
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
this, right? So VP, that's a very powerful question, right? And at the end of the day, we keep asking, when we started this Gita journey last year, I remember, okay, this is all, I remember this was Ajay's, comment in one of the things, right? Okay, it all seems nice. When will rubber hit the road, right? And when the rubber hit the road and in this, 13th, 14th chapter, then we started understanding what exactly it means. And the whole point is, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, what we are trying to do by separating ourselves and seeing ourselves as a third person, that is Nididhyasanam in practice. It may be at 0.00001%, but it is still, that is the most important practice for us, right? And I also want to kind of remind us about one incident that happened with me and Swami Paramatmananda, right? I asked him, there is this book by Norman Vincent Peale. I think I've mentioned this a couple of times, but I want to repeat it again. I asked him, Swamiji, there's this book by Norman Vincent Peale called The Power of Positive Thinking. Is it that, Nididhyasanam like Power of Positive Thinking? He said, and he had read that book. And he said, yes, it is like Power of Positive Thinking, except that what you are doing Nididhyasanam on is not on imaginary things. It's on a real thing. Okay. So he's saying, you can do Power of Positive Thinking, saying that I'm fearless. And, you can actually become fearless, or, I want to get $1 million, you can get $1 million. Some of them could be imaginary and all that, right? But here you're saying, I am this particular person, and that particular reality is true for us. It's just that we just are not reinforcing it quite often. And as we start doing it on a daily life, over a period of time, that third person identity actually becomes first person. There's no difference after that.
Hi, Manu. Ajay here.
Hey.
Very nice. I like the depth of your thoughts, and I particularly kind of enjoyed hearing about what you said about being a director who only controls one actor. And I think that's very powerful. I think that's so true. We can only do what we can do, and we've got to do the best in that. And it's a little bit like sort of two people, being on the road and driving, and, you drive your car and assume that everyone else will do the right things as well. So yeah. I found that very powerful. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right, one last question. Anybody else?